All right, all right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back for another week of Just a Fan Podcast. All right, so I am the NFL Encyclopedia, Coach Williams, that direction, the good guy with the black hat, Pando 316. What's up, man?
I can't call it. It's just hot.
There you
It's
go.
hot in Texas.
It's hot in Texas, huh?
It's hot. Y'all don't understand.
Well, right now it is feeling good in DC.
I'm gonna tell you something. I took a shirt. Yeah, you did okay. You still need to practice. Okay. Back to business. I took a shirt out of the wash, and instead of putting it in the dryer, I put it on a hanger.
Okay.
I hung it in the back seat of my truck.
Okay. Oh, God.
I went to work and I parked. 10 minutes later, that shirt was dry with no wrinkles. Just saying.
Lord have mercy.
It's hot, man. Like, it's that. I need you to imagine if somebody wrapped you in a fur coat that had been dunked in kerosene.
Oh, God.
And then they set it on fire.
Mm.
And then it's 90 degrees outside, but then you got this wet fur coat covered with kerosene that's on fire. Then a midget sits on your shoulders and he wearing a fur coat. And then he got a boxing glove, and that boxing glove he done set on fire. And he's sitting on your shoulders, punching you in the top of your head. That's Texas.
Can somebody get this?
Wait, I'm sorry. And then somebody comes along and just pushes you in a lake of lava. There you go.
Can somebody get this, man? He said a midget is punching you with a glove that's on fire.
He's sitting on your shoulders. Peter Dinklage is sitting on your shoulders with a boxing glove that's on fire.
Can somebody get him?
Tyrion Lannister is
Can somebody get him?
In the top
Can somebody get him?
Damn head with a boxing glove that's on fire, and then somebody push both of y'all in the lava.
Listen, I want everybody to, if you remember watching cartoons, and when people used to be on stage and they used to grab the hook and just yank the person off the stage. For Eric to sit there and use a midget sitting on your shoulders with a boxing glove on fire punching in your head.
But you had a mental picture, didn't you?
We need somebody to pull this man off the stage.
That's all I'm saying. You had a mental picture.
Does anybody have a hook to pull Pando off the stage, please? I need help.
I need to illustrate for the people who do not live in Texas.
I need Jesus.
Or anywhere in the South.
I need Noah. I need Moses. The three wise men. Cain and Abel.
Don't use Moses or Noah. You know why? Because Moses split the Red Sea. He could just walk to the right or left to cool off.
You know what?
Noah was on a boat surrounded by water. He go swimming anytime he want to. And still do the Lord's work. Don't use them for an example. Don't use Jonah. Jonah got thrown off the boat and got swallowed by the whale. Well, the book, the Bible says a fish, but you know, it was probably a whale. And he was in the water though. I guarantee you, wasn't as hot as Texas. Now you can talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because they was in the furnace, and they know what it's like to be in Texas. I'm through. Let's talk some football.
Can somebody get this man off the stage, please? All right. Anyway. Oh, don't try to get myself together. Listen. All right. So I need we need y'all opinions as well. Okay, as we bring up these 3 different topics. Okay. The first topic, and all 3 of them are similar. The Las Vegas Raiders have announced their starting quarterback after having a quote-unquote quarterback competition between veteran quarterback Gardner Minshew and Minshew Mania versus the youngster Aiden O'Connell. Gardner Minshew is now the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. So, Pando, talk to us. How are you feeling about Minshew Mania as the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders?
Unpopular take. Well, not really, because people listen to know they know. He better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Period.
Okay.
He's better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
And that's saying a whole lot. So that's an upgrade. But keeping it real, Aiden O'Connell is an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. So either way they went, 5 on one hand, half a 10 on the other. Same thing. I think, the Raiders still gonna be probably somewhere in the bottom of that division.
Yep.
Didn't matter who started. And,
right.
And they're not gonna be at the bottom because we still had the Denver Broncos. But Gardner Minshew has experience. I think he's probably one of the best backups in the league.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and let's call a spade a spade. The Raiders don't have a starting quarterback. They just named one, but they don't have a starting quarterback.
They don't have much of a roster.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Because Davante Adams is, I'm like, hey, man, get me out of here.
Now, I believe Davante Adams gets traded in the middle of the season before the trade deadline. I don't care about contract. Davante Adams going to run out of there after at least 5 or 6 games. Because he's going to realize they're not going anywhere.
I mean, he should.
You going to hear him chirp.
Hey, man, let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. He realized they wasn't going nowhere last year.
Well, that's true.
Ain't much changed over there. In it's just Las Vegas. It ain't Oakland. It's the same old Raiders. So, yeah. Now, I will say this. So people want to say I'm bagging on the Raiders. They're a highly motivating coaching staff. So they
are. No, they are.
Now, as far as X's and O's and scheming, I don't know.
Yeah,
that remains to be seen.
We're really about to find out now.
But they're gonna go full tilt. It might be the wrong way. They're gonna be running full tilt out there. I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
Gardner Minshew in a vacuum, in a just a sterile environment. You look at Gardner Minshew, you look at Aiden O'Connell. They made the right choice. It was kind of a no-brainer. Gardner Minshew has more experience. And when he came in the teams that he's played for in relief roles, he's shown that he can play in this league.
Yes.
He can win you a few games. So we'll just see. But I think they made the right call. Yeah. And Aiden O'Connell ain't, he doesn't suck.
He just probably need more development.
I think Minshew has a short leash.
Oh yeah,
Like other teams where they name their starter and it's like, okay, this is the starter. Period. Come hell or high water. I think in Las Vegas, I think Minshew has like a shorter leash. I think it's gonna be like, okay, we watching. Go ahead. Come on, O'Connell, you in? You know, I really feel like it could turn into one of those type of situations.
I agree. Because Aiden O'Connell has the upside. He's so much younger. Because Gardner Minshew probably in the league about 7 years now at least.
We just said 70.
7.
Oh, I just say been in the league 70 years. Like,
Dude.
bro,
Dude, could you imagine? Nah.
It seems that long, doesn't it? Gardner Minshew, son, he been around forever.
But I mean, he has, because he was in Indianapolis last year, and I think he's been some other places. But anyway, Gardner Minshew, right? It's a safe bet. He won't. I mean, he'll probably turn the ball over some this year. But yeah, that's true.
Especially twice a year when they play Kansas City.
Man, listen,
as well as that. And that's the thing. People talk about Kansas City. Oh, Pat Mahomes, Travis Swift. You know, he might as well go ahead and get his name hyphenated on his jersey. But you talk about that, but nobody really pays attention to how good the pass defense of the Chiefs are.
Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah, and it's Spagnuolo. That's all Spagnuolo. Nobody pays attention to that, and it's like, yeah, that's gonna be the weeks they're gonna be throwing some picks. I'm just telling you that right now. So if they're not careful,
I know.
And I got a feeling there's gonna be a lot of force in the ball to
Davante Adams.
Davante Adams is gonna be a lot of force in the ball to him,
and he might get hurt, unfortunately, too. I hate to say, but I just know what that happens.
Yeah, the hell he went through. If those of you who are watching, if you have not watched the Netflix series Receiver, it's very good. They follow, was it 4 wide receivers and a tight end in the NFL? There's Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Deebo Samuel, and Davante Adams, and then they follow George Kittle. And what Davante Adams went through in Las Vegas was ridiculous. Like,
exactly.
He caught so many what they refer to as hospital balls because of bad quarterback play. Because who's the quarterback? Jimmy Garoppolo. He threw so many hospital balls, and there was so many just overthrown and underthrown balls, bad quarterback play. Only thing I can see that Davante Adams has to look forward to, Gardner Minshew is a little bit more accurate than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes, he is.
He's a little more accurate, so he may have some opportunities to make some plays with Gardner Minshew. But yeah, man, it's still not, it's still not great. It's kind of like, yeah, we're not at the dollar store, but we at Walmart.
Right.
Type of thing. We're not at Neiman Marcus. We're not at Macy's. It's still Walmart.
Right.
It's not the dollar store, but it's Walmart.
Exactly.
He upgraded from dollar store to Walmart. That's
right.
Basically what. Yeah. So yeah, man. We'll see.
We'll definitely see, but I'm not really expecting much
at all.
I know you're not either.
At all. As you can tell right now, folks that are watching at home, there's not a lot going on. We got teams that are about to cut down to their 90, from 90 to 53 next week. Kind of waiting on that. Preseason games are what they are. They're preseason games. Anybody that's getting too excited about a preseason game, stop it. If you're getting too worried about your team from watching a preseason game, Stop it. Okay? Seriously. I'm just being honest with you. Like, so you got some people, they team won a preseason game, they losing their doggone mind.
Yeah, I
And
know,
it's like,
right?
yeah, it happens every year.
I know
Happens
it
every year.
does. Hey,
And it's
listen,
like, hey man, calm down.
listen,
Calm down.
listen. I remember seeing teams that before no preseason, everybody was like, yeah, yeah, and I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And what happened? You go 3-13 or something like that. Shoot, when it
I be
was
like,
10 games.
remember how you made? Remember when you could make the playoffs from preseason wins? Me either.
Me neither. Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of starting quarterbacks in the AFC West, the Denver Broncos earlier today named their starter, and it's going to be rookie quarterback Bo Nix. Panda, what do you think, man?
It doesn't matter. I mean, hey man, I just y'all know on this show we're not about the sensationalism of sports journalism. We don't sensationalize players or we don't try to do things for clicks. If the followers we do have are organic followers, they follow us because we tell the truth, even though it may not actually be uh,
Something you
the
want to
most
hear?
the most intriguing things to hear. Like, oh, this is great. We don't follow fanfare and do all of that. It's the Denver Broncos, man.
We don't do fluff.
It's the Denver Broncos, man. Hey man, it doesn't matter. Does it really matter? And I know that, like, I don't to as far as I know, we don't have any Denver Broncos fans watching, to my knowledge. And I want to be clear. If we do have, if we do have any Denver Bronco fans watching, first of all, I'm sorry. That's first thing. Second of all, at this point, you can't. Hey man, it's Bo Nix, Jared Stidham, and Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson is the worst of the three.
Hey man, like, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm sorry to cut you off. It's obvious that Zach Wilson should not have been drafted third overall. I don't know who in the world was scouting in the New York Jets scouting department, but that's terrible, man. That's a huge miss.
Like, seriously, no one is checking for the Denver Broncos until they start to do something. That's just being real. Nobody's checking for them. At this point, I don't even think their own fans are checking for them right now.
That's sad.
It's like they know. They probably deep down, they might have some diehard fans in Colorado. Like, yeah, go Broncos. Let's go Broncos. No. They deep down, they know, hey man, we finna be unwiped ass at least this year.
Exactly.
We finna have probably a top 5, at the very best top 10 pick in next year's draft. They already shopping around PS2. They're good
Right.
players.
Yep.
You let Justin Simmons walk out the door. And he had sat on the couch for a while before he signed with Atlanta. And what else can they do? People have seen Zach Wilson play football in the NFL. They have seen Jared Stidham play football in the NFL. Yep. The best thing you can do is to take somebody that has not played football in the NFL and put them out there. What else we got to lose? If that was my team, I'd be like, you know what else we got to lose? Let's see what the kid got.
Hey, I mean, and like you say, he's better. And to me, he's better than Stidham. I just said Zach Wilson should not have been picked third overall because that tells you how bad the Jets scouting department is. Now, I heard that, and I know it's only preseason, that he's looked good, since the beginning of training camp and stuff, and that's cool. But when the Panthers come on and you're facing these blitzers, what are you going to do? Now, Sean Payton is a veteran head coach. He knows offense very well. I will give him that much.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does as far as development Bo Nix, but that's going to be a while. You're not going to get nothing this year, especially since you still got to play Kansas City twice this year. So, yeah, man, Bo Nix, starting quarterback. We'll see what that looks like.
Now, again, going back to what you're saying about Sean Payton. Sean Payton is a developer of quarterbacks. He has a nice pedigree. He has a nice resume, I should say. Not pedigree, resume for developing quarterbacks, getting the most out of his quarterbacks. You cannot take that from him. And for him to want to ship off Russell Wilson and get rid of him and make the team eat all that money, that must be saying something about Russell Wilson. That really is a statement move. So, we'll see, because he's got a young, basically blank slate.
No, he really does.
He has a blank canvas with Bo Nix. He doesn't have a lot of the habits from that other pros might have, because he's not a pro, he's a rookie. I think that if they're going to have any kind of future, if they're going to push for anything, it's not happening this year. Let's be real. It's not happening this year.
Of course not. You still got to build up the rest of your roster.
Right. But if they're going to have any kind of future going down the road, you got to go ahead and go with Bo Nix. Let him get out there and let him see what he can do when the real bullets start flying. Because preseason, let's be real, that's not real bullets.
Right. No, of course not.
But and speaking of quarterbacks, with real bullets, I'm going to get into that later, because I do not like what the 49ers did to Brock Purdy in his last preseason game. Well, I'll talk about that shortly. But this guy's young. You don't know what he has. He needs the reps. Now, I haven't watched. I'm going to be honest and give full confession. I haven't seen how many snaps he's played. I hadn't kept up with the Broncos preseason schedule. I do not know how many snaps he's played, but young guys need reps, especially rookies.
Right.
Especially rookie quarterbacks.
Yes.
So I don't blame them if they putting him out there and he getting a lot of the reps with the first team. I don't blame them doing that. I think it's a great idea. I just don't. We got to see what's going. Like I said, we got to see when the live rounds start flying. It ain't paintball no more. The live rounds gonna start flying week 1, and we gonna see what you made out of it. I don't even know who Denver plays the first week. You know that? Do you know their? Do you know who they play?
Who, the Broncos?
Yeah.
Good question. Oh shoot. I do not. But that's a very good question. I'm on my phone, so I can't go look. But
yeah, it's right. Yeah, okay. But I mean, it's kind of that decision is not like earth shattering when you really think about it. It's more of what else was we supposed to do?
Yeah,
we got freaking Jarrett Stidham and and Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, man.
Like, what would you do? Like, I'm literally like, I'm imitating Sean Payton. What would you do? I can't knock him for that. So,
Bo Nix, baby, it's his turn. Let's see what happens. And a positive, at least for Bo Nix, is he has played a lot of college football games. I know people are down on him because of that. I get it, because you're not gonna get the long term that you want to get out of him. But he's played a ton of college football games. So
that's important.
The lights might not be that big because he played 61 games.
That's important. A lot of guys, they don't get how important it is, even though it's okay. We know it's college football.
Right.
We know a lot of you don't have to throw receivers open. They're usually wide the hell open.
Right.
But just all those games, those are important to be able to,
yes, all those reps.
and I'm a parallel Trey Lance. Trey Lance only played what 18 college games,
Yeah,
so he
he played
wasn't ready
8.
to start for anybody. Anybody, people calling him trash is like he needs the reps. He
Not to
needs the
mention,
reps. He's got
not
to
to
get out
mention,
there. He's got to get the reps.
not to
You
mention
know,
when he was.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Not to mention when he was in high school, he was a wing T quarterback. So yeah, you playing quarterback, but you're not really like dropping back, going through reads and your progressions and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You just more so handing the ball off as a wing team quarterback. You might get a few passes here and there, but that's about it.
yeah. So yeah, that right there within itself, just because a guy's played a lot of games doesn't mean he's going to go off and have a gold jacket by the end of his NFL career. But it helps.
Oh yeah,
And that's the thing. It's like we can't go from one extreme to another because oh, he's played a lot of games. He's gonna be great. No, but I can tell you if he hasn't played a lot of games in college, it's that's not as good as if he played a bunch of games in college.
exactly.
So that's what he has. Bo Nix has going for him. Moving forward is all the games that he was able to start in college. That on field experience is what's going to help him out a lot. But pray for him because he's in Denver.
Denver Broncos, mile high, baby.
And look,
let's ride.
It's either they gonna either ride with him or they on their way to the glue factory. the dog food company factory. Yeah.
Kibbles and bits, kibbles and bits, kibbles and bits.
That's what they go. That's what they do with horses. So they take them. That's the glue factory or the dog food factory. It's like, yeah, they gonna either ride across the plains, brum, 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 or they gonna be the old gray mare. She ain't what she used to be. That's what's gonna happen. So it's gonna be more glue. I'm gonna tell you that right now this season. I don't care how good he is. There's gonna be a lot of glue this season. So I don't see them. I think we all picked them to finish last in this division. I believe.
Who, Denver or Raiders? I forgot who I chose to be last.
I think it was Denver. I believe it was Denver. Yeah, I believe it was Denver.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Next week, are we gonna have a chance to change our minds based on anything we've seen or no?
You know what? I think that's a good idea. Let's ask our viewers.
Yeah, because we did that last year, I think.
So if you think part of our show next week should be last chance to change your mind about our division picks,
let us know.
Let us know because we could do that. We could go back and look at who made what pick, and I don't think I had the right folder. But we could talk about that, and we could say, okay, I've changed my mind. I think Team XYZ is going to win this division with what has happened in this preseason. What has transpired? What has happened or what has not happened. I think Team X is. I thought they were going to be second, but I think they're going to win the division because there's a couple of teams that I can think of off the top of my head that my opinion has kind of changed about them based on what they've done this during this preseason. And I'm not talking about necessarily winning preseason games. So please understand what I'm saying right there. What I'm saying is there's been some late roster adjustments, pickups, losses, so on and so forth on some teams, and it's like, okay, that might push them over the edge. And then in preseason, we're watching some of these young players play that, okay, they could actually they can move the needle. This young player that we didn't really think about could move the needle one way or the other. Like, oh, they putting all their eggs in this player's basket and he's not very good. They in trouble. Or this kid, they didn't have very much to say about this guy, but he's playing great in the preseason. That moves the needle. So those of you guys who are viewing at home, If you'd like us to talk about that and you'd like to come in and interact with us in the comment box next week, let's do that. This will be our last chance to change our minds before week 1.
There you go.
And then we can also talk about some fantasy things. I know a lot of you play fantasy. I have a lot of people that's in my fantasy league that watch this podcast. I'm not telling you Jack, because I've lost to some of you sometimes because I've given away some things that I like to do, how I like to draft, and I'm not telling you anything. So, nothing. So don't ask. So, but we can give a little fantasy advice also. So it was another, if I'm not mistaken,
another quarterback who's now a starter. He was announced.
Yes.
Washington Commanders have announced second overall pick quarterback Jaden Daniels will be the starter for the season.
No brainer.
Yeah, well, obviously no brainer. I don't know who's the backup. Oh, Marcus Mariota. Because that's what Tristan said. So, yeah, Jaden Daniels starting quarterback. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The potential is high. I know it's a lot of high hopes in Washington D.C. as always every year.
Temper your expectations, Washington.
We'll see what happens. I know they're excited because Dan Quinn's the head coach and Dan Snyder's no longer the owner and Cliff Kingsbury's the offensive coordinator and everybody's just happy go. Everybody's happy go lucky. I'm gonna tell you something right now. That's not the only problem. That's not the only problem. They have Washington has way more problems than fans realize. And I said it when we covered the NFC East. I'm gonna say it again. Cliff Kingsbury's still the offensive coordinator. You have a bad offensive line, including your center, who he made 2 Pro Bowls for Dallas, and you paid him. But you get a strong enough nose tackle, they're gonna walk him backwards. They're gonna walk him backwards. Okay.
So what you're saying is that the Commanders have 99 problems, but a quarterback isn't one.
Not to mention who's going. And I asked this question during the NFC East: who's rushing the quarterback? Let me ask you a question: do you fear Dante Fowler?
Not really.
Let me put it this way for Fowler: I respect his speed, but that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. I just respect your speed, but I can neutralize that. Do you respect Doris Armstrong?
A little bit.
Okay. I do too, but not to the point where I'm gonna give him I gave him a contract that Washington gave him.
No.
See,
when you're talking about the cost he's been paid, then no. But I think he's a decent player. I don't think what they offered him was.
No, of course not. They overpaid him.
No, I don't agree with that.
The only 2 moves I truly like for Washington was when they signed Wagner and Chen. That was it.
Yeah.
The only 2 moves I respect. Everything else, forget it. And I'm hearing the coverage is suspect. Oh, and another thing I'm hearing, behind McLaurin and Dawson, I heard a suspect.
Okay.
So they have a ton of problems. And
so in the past, the issue was quarterback play.
Right.
So you're saying that now
it's everything else.
It's everything else because you feel like, so how do you feel about Jaden Daniels, like as just as quarterback? Like okay, in a vacuum, we take Jaden Daniels and let's say we put him, I don't know, argument's sake, Green Bay. How do you think he do?
Well, here's my thing. Okay, well, first of all, he would do better in Green Bay because he have a better offensive play caller. Plus, he'll be in a system that's Shanahan related, and quarterbacks with his speed do well. Here's my problem with Jaden Daniels, and listen, I will find out in due time. Okay, because he's a rookie and he needs to progress, and he just needs work. Okay,
Absolutely.
but here's my problem, and I saw something a few weeks ago. Jaden Daniels ran according to one of them statistical tracking things of how fast somebody can run. Jaden Daniels ran 21 something miles per hour. And I thought to myself, I said, we gotta stop doing this in media. We have got to stop doing this kind of stuff in media. I don't care how fast a quarterback can run. I don't care if he can throw the football from the state of Maryland to the state of New Mexico. I don't care if he's 6'4", 260 pounds, and he can run through everybody. All this quarterback run around and stuff, these quarterbacks' bodies break down and they get hurt and they are no longer the same. I need to know. And again, Jaden Daniels needs coaching. That's fine. He needs reps. I get it. So I'm not crushing him. But for a quarterback, you cannot be like Jalen Hurts and be strictly RPO, strictly half field read, strictly 1-2 reads and run. You need to be able to make at least 95 to 98% of those passes that are out there. You need to be able to move to safety with your eyes. You need to be able to go through your progressions, and you need to be able to read from pre-snap to post-snap,
Well,
especially when you run a play action. It's a lot of stuff, and I'm probably not even naming everything, but it's just a lot of stuff you have to go through. And I'm not going to know that answer even after 5 or 10 weeks of Jaden Daniels.
and that's what I was getting to, because this is what I was getting to with that. It's like you're not gonna really know what he is until he's played a full 17 games, and then there's still gonna be people that's gonna have the jury still. Like, prime example, the jury's still out with a lot of people on C.J. Stroud. Now, I think he's a gamer.
I think so too.
I think he's absolutely phenomenal, and not because of his physical ability, but how he's able to read and decipher defenses. So we're going to see. And that's why I wish that our resident Commanders fan, who's a member of the podcast, Tristan Morris, was here, Tris TV, because he could give us more insight on Jaden Daniels. I will be watching closely, because if there was a quarterback in this draft that I had a high opinion of, it was probably Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
So I do have a high opinion of him, but everything you said, I am not disagreeing with at all. And what really concerns me the most is who his offensive coordinator is, because I don't think he's going to get the most out of him.
I don't think so either, because Cliff Kingsbury has not shown me anything, even from the college ranks, when it comes to quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't believe in Cliff Kingsbury. That's my concern. Like, if he was with, as much as I don't like him, Sean McVay's offense,
right?
Look out.
Yeah,
he's in Shanahan's offense, which is Sean McVay. Sean McVay runs Shanahan, but that style of offense.
Mike McDaniel, Bobby Slowick, Ben Johnson,
right.
what's my man's name in Cincinnati? Zach Taylor.
Yeah, and that's not even just that system, but I'm just about those type of systems that could really, accentuate what the quarterback can do. It doesn't have to be the Shanahan system.
Yeah, well, Andy Reid's.
Yeah, Andy Reid's system.
Sean Payton.
Yeah, exactly. I bet you Sean Payton wish he had Jaden Daniels. If there was a way that Denver could have gotten up there, I think they'd have tried to get him. Because I don't trust the play calling.
I don't.
Yeah, when they said Cliff Kingsbury was going to be the OC in Washington, that was a major concern. Well, it ain't concerned me, they ain't my team, but just holistically, just looking at it,
objectively, looking at it
objectively. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that either. I said, okay,
because this is his time to show and prove right now.
Yeah. You talking about somebody needs to improve. Him as a coach, he needs to improve.
Because now if Jaden Daniels comes out there running Mach 2 with his hair on fire, and I don't mean running like scrambling. I'm talking about like if he just plays really well, then Cliff Kingsbury can get some credibility. Right now, I think as far as this podcast is concerned, he has zero credibility with us.
Thank you.
And I think a lot of other analysts are feeling the same way. They just not saying it because they want to be politically correct. But on this particular podcast, we facts over feelings and the rubber meets the road. So we not finna, we want to be nice. No. If you trash, we gonna call you trash. If you are exemplary, we will call you exemplary.
Trash, 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 trash. I am trash.
Yeah, so there it is. But
I know you missed it.
Yeah, dog. Because the season about to start too. You keep that button ready. Keep that button ready. There's going to be bruh moments. For those of you who are new to the podcast, let me go ahead and explain, because I know y'all like, what the heck was that? Okay, so for those of y'all new to the podcast, we have certain sound bites. Throughout the regular season, we have what's called bruh moments. And that's usually when a player or a coach does something really stupid in the game. It may or may not cost them the game, but it's still a bruh moment. It's kind of like the Come On Man segment on ESPN, but we got our own trademark. We just bruh. So, and then if somebody just does egregiously bad, player or coach, GM too, we're gonna turn on the trash song. Cause yeah.
Well, you know what?
That's
Pando.
What's up?
Let me do something, okay? And I know I'm about to be out of control when I do all this. But after I finish doing all this and I explain my reason why, you're gonna understand and you're going to accept it, okay?
All right, I'm listening.
So let's do these 3 things before, and then I explain everything, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay?
Right.
Trash, 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 trash. I am trash.
Okay. I need everyone's full, undivided attention, okay? I need the floor for this, okay? Let me say this. Okay, Eric, please hold off your comments until I'm finished. Okay. A few weeks ago, when training camp first started for a lot of teams, okay, there was an NFL writer who had asked a question on Twitter. Okay. His question was, and Eric already knows where I'm about to go with this.
I actually don't, but go ahead.
Who is going to stop the New York Giants offense?
Oh, God. Okay. I know where you're going now. Go ahead. I know
when I first responded on Twitter and I said Daniel Jones.
Correct.
Okay. I then proceeded to tell my boys in this on the show, Pando, Steve, and Trish TV, who is I told them about the question, I told them my answer. Okay. Then recently, both Tristan and Steve posted in our Instagram group chat that in the last preseason game that the Giants played, the most recent one, he was in the back of the end zone running for his dear life, threw the football and threw a pick six. And Tristan
Oh
said,
no, not Danny Dimes, huh?
hold on, wait. And
Oh, okay.
Tristan proceeded to say, this is not a rookie quarterback. And I'm like, Tristan, we know who Daniel Jones is. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because today I was on Twitter again, and they were interviewing New York Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner. Okay? I'm assuming they must have had a scrimmage between the two teams, Giants and Jets. Okay? And they asked Sauce Gardner, how do you feel about Daniel Jones? Sauce Gardner was struggling so bad to say nice things about Daniel Jones. He tried his best. He tried not to laugh. He had a smirk on his face, but he tried so hard not to laugh. And I think it's a shame. Well, I don't care because he's a Giants quarterback, but I think it's a shame. I think it's embarrassing when other players just know that you're just so bad that you are
Trash, 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 trash. I am trash.
Yeah,
when
Daniel
you are
Jones,
that bad.
yeah, he's
When you are that bad at quarterback, and
he
I'm
dumpster juice. Yeah.
and if I said it, if I didn't say this in NFC East show, I'm gonna say it now. This is what's going to happen to the Giants this season because they don't have a quarterback even behind Daniel Jones because Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito's not it. Even though I think some Giants fans love Tommy DeVito, but whatever.
They love Tommy DeVito. You can't tell them nothing.
The only reason why Daniel Jones is going to start is because of that contract. I feel like at some point during the season he's going to get benched. Brian Daboll will probably be fired either during the season or after the season. And Daniel Jones will be cut after the season. They got to find another head coach and another quarterback. But until then,
and see, here's the thing.
This is it.
So here's the thing. I don't think Brian Daboll's that bad of a coach.
I don't think so either. But I think hold on.
I think his fate is tied to Daniel Jones.
That's what it is because you convinced the front office to pay this man $40 million a year.
Yeah. That's the issue. And it's like it's a shame because I don't think he's that bad of a coach.
No.
He has a horrible quarterback.
He can run an offense.
Yeah.
Because you gotta remember, he was in Buffalo with Josh Allen. And I think he got the most out of Josh Allen.
Yeah, I just think that he doesn't, he's probably, you're right, he's probably gonna get fired. And it's gonna be Daniel Jones' fault. Daniel Jones is gonna get Brian Daboll fired.
But hold on, I'm sorry. Daboll should not have convinced the Giants to give him that money.
Yeah. Let us know what you think at home. Chime in. Make sure you comment in the comment box. Make sure you like and subscribe, please, as you're watching. If you haven't subscribed already. But yeah, I believe that because always the quarterbacks, the coach's fate is tied to the quarterback, especially it's like, okay, you had an opportunity to make a move to get away from that guy. You didn't, but let's be honest, he couldn't really get away from him because they tied up that contract. Mm-hmm. They were tied up in that ridiculous contract.
Ridiculous.
Who thought it was a good idea to pay him that much money after what they won one playoff game?
Yeah. And
that was against Kirk Cousins, who basically chokes to the playoffs anyway.
Right.
So, that's not saying much.
No.
And it's like, okay, we're going to pay you all this. That is the worst, the absolute worst use of money. Now, the Giants stuck with Daniel Jones. Honestly, sometimes you just got to cut your losses and eat it. You're just going to have to eat that money and move on because Poor Malik Neighbors is, he probably seeing a therapist right now. I'm like, he probably is depressed as all get out. I'll never forget when how they show the footage of the rookies arriving to the facility right after they get drafted.
Right.
I remember when they showed Malik Neighbors get out the car he was just like, "What's up, man? Hey, yeah, hey, I'm a Giant, yeah, shit." It was like it was literally that was his demeanor. It wasn't like, "Man, I'm super excited to be here. This is gonna be great." No, he's like, "Yeah, so yeah."
And that's the thing. And that's why I go back to I look at Sauce Gardner. Like Sauce Gardner was struggling to say something positive about Daniel Jones. And the thing is, this quarterback draft is not strong. Okay,
No,
quarterback's gonna get overdrafted, but it's not strong. And teams like the Jets and Raiders are going to need a quarterback immediately.
Yeah. The Jets, Raiders. I'm sorry, not Jets. Well, Jets do too, because let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers ain't a spring chicken.
No, Aaron Rodgers not spring chicken.
But Giants, Jets, Raiders.
Yeah.
We hit the jury is still out on. You got to give a guy 3 years as a rookie. So when we start talking about Denver and Washington
and Atlanta,
you got to give them 3 years.
Yeah, of course.
But if they those guys, you typically know what a quarterback is by year 3.
Yeah.
And if his first 2 years are great, then we know year 3 is probably going to be something similar to that, But if he's bumpy his first year and his second year, but you see improvement that second year, year 3, we're going to know if he's going to continue to trend upward or he's going to take a nosedive.
Exactly.
So, like, if you got a quarterback who started off hot and in the next year he's right on par with it, maybe not the same stats because there's film on him now, but he still plays really well, then year 3 is kind of a given. Like, for example, this year, if CJ Stroud has another good year like he had, which I think he will with those targets and the way that roster is built. If CJ Stroud has another good year, we know what he's going to be. That you kind of skip that 3rd year. We know.
That roster
he had 2 great years. Yeah.
That roster should be illegal.
Yeah. So, but like if you have a guy that starts off bumpy, but shows a little bit of improvement in second year, 3rd year is crucial. We got to see what's happening after that 3rd year, But, let's say Bo Nix, because this is what we've been talking about. It's been the topic the whole show. We almost done. But let's say Bo Nix is out in Denver. I don't see it coming based on that roster. But let's say Bo Nix just goes off.
Right.
It's like, okay, he doesn't have a good roster, and he kind of went off. What are they going to do when they get a better roster? Jesus. You got to look at that. Let's say Kirk Cousins is not all he's cracked up to be, and they actually let Michael Penix play, and Michael Penix is in Atlanta just losing his mind. Okay, we know. That's the indicator. Let's see if you can put 2 years of that together.
Exactly.
You put 2 years of that together, we don't give you the 3rd. We're gonna assume that 3rd year you about to act up. So teams need to go ahead and start piling their money up for when that 4th year come around, that 5th year option comes around, that type of stuff. Because they usually don't play on the 5th year option if they that good.
Exactly.
Year 4, they getting that extension. So, but yeah, this has been an interesting conversation about quarterbacks. I want to just close out with one last thought. Kyle Shanahan, I'm going to punch you in your face. They had Brock Purdy out there against the New Orleans Saints starting defense with the backup offensive line and a bunch of backup wide receivers and a rookie running back behind him that did not know how to pass block. Now, the argument could be said that, well, he said he wanted the reps. I understand that, but I'm not going to put him out there. You're not going to put your franchise quarterback that could demand about $65 million at the end of this year out there with the backup offensive line and a bunch of wide receivers that don't know how to break off their routes when he's in scramble drill. And then people are sitting up there talking about, well, Brock Purdy played like trash. Did you see who was in front of him and on the side of him?
Thank you.
Like,
why would you do that?
Why would you
Why
do
would
like
you do
no?
that?
I'm not finna put you out there unless I can get most of my starters to play. If they not gonna play, then you're not going out there.
You know what?
Because at this point, somebody like a Brock Purdy, somebody like a Jordan Love, somebody like a Jared Goff, somebody like a Aaron Rodgers,
Joe
guys like
Burrow.
that. Yeah, they don't need to play. They
You know
can
what?
get the reps in practice, and if you're gonna play them, go ahead and play them with the rest of the starters. Don't put him out there with the second team.
Eric, Bill Walsh would have never.
No,
Mike Shanahan would never.
George Seifert would have never. Steve Mariucci would never.
Mike Holmgren would never.
Damn Skippy. So I'm sitting up here watching the game doing this the whole time. Doing this. Like, I don't care if he complete a damn thing. Just don't get hit. He got hit like 3 or 4 times. Like, get him out of there. The hell, you're still trying to figure out who your QB2 is. Let them play the whole game. You know what you got in Brock Purdy. But no, man. Like, when you got an established starter, like, for example, Aaron Rodgers need to go out there and play like 2 series with the Jets and the Jets starters. We know who the hell Aaron Rodgers is. You know what I'm saying? Pat Mahomes don't need to play at all.
Nope.
We know what Pat Mahomes is.
Yep.
We know what Joe Burrow is. Let the man preseason, in my opinion, is for the guys who are on the second team and the rookies and the new acquisitions or undrafted guys to try to get a job. My favorite part of watching a preseason game is that fourth quarter when there's some guys at the very bottom of the roster that's trying to get a job because they will rip your head off.
Yep.
Trying to get one of them 53 spots on the roster.
Yep.
That's fun. It's a lot of sloppy football, mind you. You'll see some missed tackles. You're going to see some people missing assignments. You're going to see some drop passes. You're going to see that type of stuff. But between all of that, you're going to see some pretty, like, people laying out for passes. You're going to see people decapitating other players on special teams. I enjoy that part of preseason. I'm not going to lie. The guys that you may never see their names again on the back of a jersey. But they be just balls to the wall crazy.
Yep.
I enjoy watching those. Like, who is that guy? I don't even know who. I don't know none of these guys on the field. Like, did you see that hit? I think he made the roster.
There you go.
Like that type of stuff. And there's 2 things I love to say. I say them to myself. I was sitting watching a preseason game by myself in my living room, nobody in the house. And I'll see a play and I'll be like, that'll get you cut.
Yep.
Or I'll say, I think he made the roster.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you make the team. Woo! That's how you get cut. Like those are 2 lines I say watching preseason. So yeah, it's preseason still has its niche.
Yes.
People like
it's still necessary.
Yeah, and if you're watching your team, basically, you're sitting there evaluating. I'm sitting out taking notes, watching guys. It's like, okay, he was a 7th round draft pick, but he's outplaying this guy that we just brought in free agency. He didn't got 18 tackles in 2 games, and he only played a half each game. This kid here, wow. Okay, this guy completely sucks, and this rookie's outplaying him. When you watching your team, because the roster from top to bottom, everybody knows their roster from top to bottom with their teams. So. But yeah, preseason has place. We move it into week 3 of the preseason. There's only 3 weeks of preseason now. They shorten the preseason. I think that's a good idea, but I don't like how they lengthen the season. Now, the consumer loves it, but I don't think the players do it. I'm always for the players. But that is pretty much our show tonight, folks. It was kind of, it was a slow news cycle, and I made a promise that I would not discuss Brandon Ayuk this week. Because that's just an ongoing saga. We're going to talk about it when something actually happens because we've been talking about it every week. But
that's right.
But it's been a slow news cycle this week. So next week, if you would like to see us talk about or renege on our picks, possibly let us know. We can talk about our picks and we can look over them again and say, okay, I picked this. I don't know. I might changed my mind on that. So that could be our show next week. And then, of course, you're always welcome to interact with us in the comment box. And then also when we're not on the air, you can interact with us on TikTok. You know what? That's your job, Brandon. I'm not going to even give him the platform. Give him the platform.
All right, here we go. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can follow us on TikTok, IG, Twitter, and Instagram. You can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Okay? We are legit over here. Okay? There's no fluff. It's all facts over feelings. We are not Daniel Jones. We are not Chase Claypool. We're not Kadarius Toney. Okay?
Oh, Jesus. We're going to get there.
All right. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for joining our show. We will see y'all next week, Wednesday night, same time, same place. Peace out.
Chocolate Goddess.